This is the revelation of IÄSOUS CHRISTÓS, Ryan Michael Wright, the one God. This is part 16. And what I'm going to do is go ahead and start recording these on this other phone. And the thing about doing the YouTube posts is from these phones, I made it like that for a reason, but to upload a video that's over an hour and a half, I mean, it takes so long. And it even was like that with the 5G. So I had it like that for a reason, but I would have to split it into so many parts because, a lot of these episodes and these different parts of this have been, 2 hours or longer. And I was also doing things like, I was walking around, so it really wouldn't have been. That one that I did where I was sitting down, like the one I'm doing now, I could have recorded that on the other phone, but I didn't. But that one was, that was the day of the 7th timeline arrival, so it was a whole different timeline that one was leading to. And so, but that part 1 and that part 2 were definitely ones that, so that's what I might do. The one I just made the other day, I'll probably record that one and then break it into 3 or 4 different parts and upload those on YouTube, so it's easy to get to. And then the part Revelation part 1 and part 2. And so where I left off on part 15 was, and I put these points on here. Of course, there were, I went to another point, and then a lot of times I came back to, one that was, further up that I'd already had talked about. So, you may have to kind of bounce around a little bit for one point. And then I start speaking on something I was already speaking on and just putting a little bit more detail on it, and you go back to that one really toward the end. But really, I went and it's kind of chronological with the live video that I made, because I just listened to it and then I just went one by one. Every time I started talking about something else, I went down and just went ahead and added that on there. And I did that because this particular revelation is this one I was saying a lot. I was talking about a lot, and I was going into depth about a lot of different topics. And so especially with the people being fake people, and so that one is definitely one that all my Khaleesi's need to see. And then you also have where some of my Khaleesi's like, I couldn't understand what you were saying right there. Some of those, just my pronunciation of what I was saying. And then there was, things going on. I'm driving the car, you got background noise and sounds and everything like that. And then I'm talking about these Khaleesi's that speak English, that's in the USA. And they were saying, well, that one part, what did you say right there? I was like, dang, you're right. I even watched, I was like, dang, I couldn't. I was like, hold on, let me see, what was I saying before I got to that? I was like, oh, okay, that's what I said. You know what I'm saying? So I even put the point there. So I even got to that part, and I remember which Khaleesi I was talking to, and she was like, and so and I'm gonna make this clear because I said that about Beyonce too, Khaleesi Beyonce, was that I actually talked to her before her arrival. And I talked to a lot of different Khaleesi's, and I asked, about that post I did, which was on this final timeline. When I did it, it was after the 10 timelines. And so just to see. And then, you know, like Khaleesi, y'all, a lot of y'all pretty much said a lot of the same things about different, you know, particular posts. And of course, each Khaleesi was like, "Well, when's my arrival gonna be?" And I'm like, "Well, I really, I really can't tell you when your arrival's gonna be." And so a lot of things that we talked about, we did end up talking about again after the Khaleesi arrival. I did hint at a roundabout time for some of those Khaleesi's I did talk to about my post. You know, just, you know, what I would do different, or, you know, what you know, things like that. And so, you know, some Khaleesi was like, "Well, you know, the post you know that you had my, if you would have used a different picture, I really didn't like that." I was like, "Okay, you know," and it, I mean, really, and it was something for me to remember too, and have, you know, recall about, and to talk about, you know, because you know, then that jogs, you know, memory of things that happened later on. And so that was one of those particular moments where I talked to one of Khaleesi's who hasn't arrived yet, but I talked to her way before her arrival, and it was, you know, right after when I was perfecting you know, the post and everything. It was right after I made the post. So I did go ahead and put that on there. I also had Khaleesi's that were all over the world, and they were, you know, it was like, it's, I even have somebody that, you know, and Khaleesi's have somebody that speak English, and they speak the way that I, you know, speak English, and then they kind of have them translated into, you know, what they understand the way that they speak English, and then you know, they use that to, so, you know, a lot of times it's it's a lot of translating going on. So they were like, it was even hard for and then especially when they don't have no detail, and then they fake people, they can't even really just understand what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? So so it's good that I did start doing that on that one, especially that one being one of the best of all. Especially, you know, it hit on a lot of things, you know, as what's going on right now, and going on down the line, as far as what, you know, even myself, my Khaleesi's are and going to be experiencing months down the line on this final timeline. And so the last, okay, yeah, that. And those were, you know, I did talk about I talked about the festivity and even on those, what was it, part 12, 13, and 14. So, I mean, really the best thing is I just go ahead and just re-record those from the live video feed, and then just break it into pieces and just upload all of them on YouTube. So it's easy to find. If I had more, I would go back and put the bullet points on there, but I mean, I think it's good that I'm doing it now, though. And then on this new one, I'm doing the same thing. And so, yeah, I left off the fact that fake T. Jones and Sims can't talk about anything of importance. And so the thing is, what, you know, Khaleesi's that are from Dallas, Sherman, and know people, you know, it's in a way. The thing is, it really wouldn't matter where you're at in the world. It would be, you know, it's completely illogical and nonsensical for anybody to not be talking about what guy got going on. You feel what I'm saying? In a way that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? It's something that's logical conversation with people. It would be all day, every day, everything that you hear and talking about. You know what I'm saying? Even for people that, you know, really don't. I mean, it wouldn't matter, man. It really wouldn't matter where you're at. But it really, it's a whole nother level for the Khaleesi's that are, and most, you know, say my Khaleesi's that are on the honorable, my Khaleesi's that are honorableness, that are from this area, because they all know people that, you know, I would say no people, no simulated people they knew. They were simulated peoples that knew, or, you know, thought they knew who I was, you know, and, you know, the old on the journey and everything like that. And so, and they didn't think they know anything because they see them and they ain't thinking shit and they not knowers. You know what I'm saying? So it's really like anytime I use that, you know, I have to say, you know, like they know. It's like this song by Shorty Low, Shawty Low, L-O, they know. They don't know nothing, but if you put they know, you have to put that in quotation mark, like they know. They know, K-N-O-W. You know what I'm saying? Or like, that Sim know he is Sim. Like he know he is Sim. You feel what I'm saying? He really don't know shit. He's not a knower. He don't have no consciousness. You know what I'm saying? But as far as it goes, like, shit, as far as it goes, in dealing with it, or he see himself he doing, like he can be simulated to acknowledge in what he's saying, and he ain't acknowledging shit. Quote unquote acknowledge in words that you hearing come from his voice. That he know he ain't real. he know damn well he know, quote unquote, know damn well he ain't real. You get what I mean? So being comfortable with understanding that while you continue to go, you know, day to day, is that comfort, being comfortable in your surroundings, even knowing that all the people are simulated people that don't have a consciousness or not self-aware, don't have a soul, actual personality of their own, anything, and it's all completely simulated, just like in the video game The Sims. So to be comfortable with that, and then, you know, still do things, enjoy yourself, and they be around, even talk to them and everything, even knowing so much of how they at the same time or how they are simulated. You know what I'm saying? It's part of the game, and you know that took a lot of perfecting to you know, create our experience of the festivity, the firmament, the game, the cave, where we could be comfortable understanding now. And I spoke on this in the other one, understanding what they're doing and what's going on, the way that you're interpreting what they do, the Sims, as if they were real, and at the same time knowing they're not. And so the topics of this part 16, I started where it was going to be God's phraseology, and it's going to be some more topics that I put in here, and this one is going to be long. And I think it's better that I'm not moving around, because, you know, the way I'm holding the phone and then, you know, walking and swinging more, you know, and then there's people and noise and music going on all in the background and shit. Going to be clearer in my speaking. God's phraseology. Phraseology. A manner of speech. I want to use the term manner of speaking, but manner of speaking as an idiom actually means it doesn't mean that. So what a manner of speaking is where you say something that's not totally true, but as a way of saying something for the time being, as something being temporary, it is. You know, so it's just a whole different manner of speech, you know, way of saying something. So phraseology, you know, and you have phraseology is, you know, somebody that, you know, their way of expressing themselves, or way of speaking is something that, you know, that could be understood in a better way phraseology, God's manner of speech and way of speaking about things. Some, you know, it's not. You mean you say a play on words, but if you take into account that English, this is a language that it's a whole different. You know, you just say play on words. I mean, it's better you just say phraseology. You know, because in English, the things that I'm saying, these are things that, you know, didn't need to be just put in a way as a play on words. It's just things, ways I was saying things before this earth was even created. You see what I'm saying? The light, the sun. That's what I mean. That's what I'm talking about. And these ain't. This is way beyond the phraseology. You know, it's a way of understanding what I mean and what I'm saying. You can say, okay, I get what he's saying. It's a way of saying something that is of the greatest of magnitude or importance, in a way where it can be easily understood. So to say the sun, S-U-N, you know, and I'm going to get to where the light, you know, we're going to get down to the phraseology, which, like I said, really, you know, it's not a manner of speaking of phraseology at all. Allah, you're like, okay, well, Allah, that was a you know, phraseology, or no. Allah was this before Earth was all, and that's what I explained. It's not, it wasn't a manner of speech or play on words. As you would think, you know, you're like, oh, okay, that was a play on words coming from what you know, what you understood, you know, the Bible or the Quran or anything else. You know, that you wouldn't be wrong in saying it like that. But really, but if you want to get all the way down to it, no. Those are titles. So the sun, that the light, that goes way far beyond the Bible. Or when I, you know, first created, like, you know, the name IÄSOUS CHRISTÓS. So there are names, titles that I rank, and I have a ranking of my names and titles. Which names are more powerful? Of course, the word is one that is very high, but when you see it on here, I always have it down. That's just the way that I like to do it. And of course, as you've seen, that's one that I put a lot of different names on the profile, but the word always stayed right there, that name. So that lets you know. Of course, God. That one's that one ain't went nowhere. Well, I think on one I did, and I just I was just trying to see if I could put more names on there. You know, like I said, Braxis is on there. YHWH has stayed on there, and Allah is gonna be on there. That one ain't going nowhere. And so as far as like how I got them lined up, you know, I might switch around or put another one on there. Like I put the miracle on there because that is a great title, powerful title. And so the reason why just now is because I just got to the part where just like all the other titles, I just got to that part. And so phraseology, we're talking about, I was hearing, and that it's really part of the game. But Khaleesi was like, that's not a name, okay? that ain't no name, that ain't no nothing. You know what I'm saying? 3 letters. God, Zoe, it really, because I needed another name that had 3 letters. That was only 3 letters. And it's Zoe. female, say Zoe. It's spelled the same way, but that's Zoe. And so, phraseology, this is something that we've been talking about. So was it worth it? Is it going to be worth it? In English, we say this. Is it going to be worth it? Before I created the planet Earth, or after, while I was perfecting Earth Matrix. Either way, I can assure you it's going to be worth it. And I talked to my Khaleesi's like, it's going to be worth it, And so, of course, Khaleesi, and rightfully so, Khaleesi's were weary, like. Leery, however you want to say, leery of and so Khaleesi's had a lot of questions about the whole growing up from a child, and interacting with some people that were not real, didn't have souls, didn't have a consciousness, and that it was kind of scary to think about for many Khaleesi's. And so I can't tell it's not butter. You can't tell it's not butter, but you better believe it. Was it worth it? You have the movie It. So see, now you have a whole nother deeper layer of the book, movie It, why that in 1998, and why in last year, February, revealing the revelation when I started decoding the Matrix and everything began with that part that happened in 1998 in the T, and then you had the T Joneses, and so it all comes about. It's about how it's all a game in their simulations, and yes, it is worth it. Every Khaleesi would agree. Every Khaleesi would agree it's worth it. I guarantee that. And so, and they have on more than one timeline already. Okay. So, yeah. So I'm right in saying that. Talking to Khaleesi Tyra in the early 2000s. This was something I didn't say in that, was it part 14, part 13? And it was just where I was talking to her. This was the early 2000s. Of course, it was off the journey. I teleported to her. And, we were just talking about how everything that I did in perfecting this Earth Matrix was meticulously, and so she was turning early 2000s TV guide. She was changing the channel. She was looking for. I was just like, it's just like right now. I was like, it's just like in the movie The Matrix. Everything. She was like, so she always would like to know, well, how far does it go? And I was like, I mean everything. I'm talking about pinpoint precision, and I'm talking about like turning back to that TV guy. I'm talking about like right now at this very moment, every single TV show that is on this whole thing. She had satellite or what, every single hour, every 30-minute increment or whatever is coming on those channels, the name of each channel, the shows that's scheduled to come on all day, every day. Every single show on every channel. What the shows is named. Of course, I created all the shows. I'm talking about I done lined up which show's gonna come on at what time of day. Every single channel, all day, every day. And that ain't even close to how she was just like, dang, but you ain't said that part. I'm like, yeah. I mean, I could keep going on and on. I'm like, I mean, what is there not that I didn't? Is really what you would be asking. Okay, so the depth of detail and everything, the timing, not just that creative, but I'm talking about the timing precision timing of something happening at the very particular moment, at that very second. Okay. So what you come and understand is directed the life experiences at just like how you would think what the movie would be directed, except for this is all day and everything happening going on. Yes, that's exactly what I mean. Okay, so you take it all the way there. So to say it in that verbalize that in words is what I just did right there. And I've been saying it, but to put it in a different, in another way of understanding. And so to go with that, that was the same day when I was just laying on her bed, and I was like, man, I'm about to go. I was like, dang, when I close my eyes, I'm gonna be gone. Now I'm gonna be back on the journey side of this. I was like, dang, man. And she was like, oh, well, just get up, just stand up. I was like, nah, I wrote this. I can't even get. I'm feeling groggy right now. And, I was like, nah, I'm about to go. She was just like, she was like, you can't do nothing about it. I was like, I wrote it. I was like, shoot, I made plans like this. I'm not about to falter on my goal. I mean, I just gotta deal with it. Yeah, I would. And that's the thing. I would, to just stay here. But if I did that I could never accomplish what, I got, many Khaleesi's around the world as God got. How would I ever be able to accomplish what I had set forth? I wouldn't be able to. And so, that just goes to that, was it worth it? And so I knew that whenever I went off the journey that I was not even going to remember that I was just at her, where I was just with her, at all. Or that I wouldn't even remember that I was ever with her. You know what I'm saying? Period. You know what I'm saying? And so, as it was written, as I had it written. And so I experienced, a lot of my cliches that, you had your memory hid the whole time of any, your whole, I can truthfully say that I experienced the Earth Matrix in that same, even with everything that I did. And that's how good I am at hiding memory, that I can even experience the Earth Matrix in just like one of my cliches, as far as, what you remember of, people being fake, and you being eternal, and all it being a game and they being a simulation. You know what I'm saying? You not remembering that, or not feeling like that you didn't know that your whole entire life. You know what I'm saying? I can say that I experienced that life journey on Earth Matrix just like that Khaleesi did, that any Khaleesi that I'm speaking about that did not that I had her memory hidden most or the entirety of the whole way. But the thing is, the Khaleesi's that I didn't have your memory hid, for so many years, and you knew that the people weren't. I mean, it's not where. The thing is, though, was it worth it? Yes, definitely was worth it. And so, what the funny thing is, yeah, and I say it was worth it. And I went to prison 3 times. So I mean, it wasn't and it wasn't like, and I even on the like. Dang, could I get a life sentence? So, the thing is, me being God, to say that I would not be able to play the game, have, experience that life experience in that way, would be putting limitations on God. And that, we don't do that. You know what I'm saying? So of course I could, and I did. So I nodded off, bam, I was gone. I say nodded off. I wouldn't use that. I closed my eyes. I closed my eyes. I was gone, and I had that part written. So it wasn't even something where I was like, okay, well, I'm about to teleport or I'm gone. Nah, it was just, that was it. So next time I saw Tyra, I said, man, I was like, damn. I said that I was about to be gone, and then it was like, I didn't even know it. Then I didn't even know that I was like, man, I was gone. I didn't even know that I'd been with you either. And it was that quick. I was like, well, that's how it is every time, when it's supposed to be. And I was like, so what happened? Did you see, what was you doing? Did you nodded off right quick, right? So you didn't even, and then you look and I was gone. She was like, nah, I was like, for real? She was like, nah, I was looking right at you and you disappeared before my very eyes. I said, nuh-uh. I was like, oh, that wasn't supposed to happen. She was like, what, really? I was like, yeah. I was like, I'm serious. I was like, maybe I might have to check something because, yeah, you supposed to have went like that. And then when you open your eyes, are you sure you didn't, open your eyes? And then when you open your eyes, I was gone and you kind of felt, like you just woke up kind of groggy. Like she was like, nah, I was looking at you and I even had my hand up and you disappeared. And it was like my hand just fell. I was like, what? She was like, yeah, you disappeared right in front of me, right in front of my very eyes. She was like, I ain't never seen you do that before, so I thought something might be wrong. So I even went back to even check, and she did. I was like, but didn't I schedule that she would right then? So I was like, do I need to hide her memory that she saw that? I was like, well, no, because I'm not hiding her memory no way. And so it was actually something that I was going to remember, and I did plan that out, that she would see me disappear right before her very eyes. Now, see, it's already been 32 minutes. I ain't even got to the second one. But I'm about to get down through that. Man, I might have to break this into 2 pieces. And my life experiences before there was chaos. And my designing of the method of measurements of moments. The method called time. And this leads into what I'm about to reveal about the total destruction of existence. And so first I'm going to touch on some more, and there's a lot about with this life form. He's the same life form, and he was a male. And I spoke on in the last, and I actually even spoke on that in another of the revelations, of where I said that what I told him, because you're supposed to want to feel like you got a real concept. I had actually said that in one of the other ones too. And so I went into more detail, but there's a lot more about that that's really good. Life forms with less senses to experience with. And so I'm trying to see if I, to talk about the life form first, and then the experiences I had before there was chaos, and then about time, because right before, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and I'll just reorder that when I put that on there, and put it in order. And I also need to add some more points on there anyway, based on what all I just covered. That life form, I'm trying to remember where I left off from the other video. And see that right there, what I just said about remembering what I said from other video. Personality is more important than intelligence. And so I'm gonna go into this first, and that one's way down there, and I'll even go back to it anyway. Like what I said in the last video, personality, and I'll just really, I'm saying life, a life of intelligent life consciousness without personality is and so it didn't really, like, how would not have a personality and be an intelligent life form and be self-aware? You got a way of speaking about things, you got a sense of humor, you got all these things that, you know, I've written, you know, as far as experience created for intelligent life forms. And so you would have to have a personality regardless of what, you know, kind of personality we're talking about. And so personality would come with life, about what I said about consciousness being real, being and existing, experiencing life as an intelligent life form, you know, which if you're not, then that's not even in this conversation. So, but is the greatest of all things to be alive as an intelligent life form. And really, I'll just say to be alive. I'm talking about be alive, like, and I'm not gonna say like, because that wouldn't be. Intelligent life forms alive, real consciousness is the greatest of all things. So what I'm saying, if you want to, you can take the word personality and put that in there with that, because to be alive, don't you have to have a personality? We're talking about who you are. You know, how you express yourself, what your likes and this, you know, what you like to say, you know. Personality. A rock, a planet don't have a personality. And so, you know, we're talking about the soul of a planet and things like, you know, you want to say soul or spirit of animals. These are different things. These are different things. It's just like in the Bible, the glory of this body, and there's another glory for another. You know, I mean, it's a whole different. That's not in this topic of discussion of life experience. Animals not experiencing life, as to even go there and think about that, it don't make no sense. So I mean, you got to break it on down, like what it is. You can be, you know, love of nature and animals, but ain't no tree thinking about shit. Ain't no, I mean, to say, okay, well, you know, you love your pet animal, your dog and everything, and dog has an experience. And you know, animals in the heavens, they have an experience. You know, and I'm going to touch on that because life forms have less senses. They have different senses. Of course, I got more than 5 senses. That's pretty, you know, that's the easy one right there. You know, you would, my Khaleesi's and higher self, y'all got more than 5 senses. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we can talk to each other, what you would, or maybe you call it telepathically, from far distance. And it ain't just because I'm God and I'm just reading, you know what? No, y'all can back and forth to each other do that. You see what I'm saying? you don't want to be heard, you know what I'm saying, like to talk. So a lot of times we don't even talk, we move our lips and do it like we be talking and be thinking to each other back and forth. You see what I'm saying? So I mean, it's so a lot of times I'll be like, all right, let's just go ahead and just talk, cause y'all thinking loud right now, man. Y'all thinking too damn loud. You know what I'm saying? And so the greatest of all things that is in existence, if you want to say in existence, basically what I'm saying, there's a whole nother, and I say levels of existence. If you want to put animals in there, that you know what I'm saying, that wouldn't be, that ain't what I'm talking about, levels of existence. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it is. But at the same time, you know, you got levels of existence as pertains to God, my CHRISTOS, and here's another one, in the Bible. And I know this is, okay, never mind. I won't say that one. I'll just put it like this. I'm not going to draw that comparison at all, because that definitely ain't no way. Okay, and so when I create my CHRISTOS, I say, I created you to be my queen. There ain't no life form that no. You see what I'm saying? So of course, God, my CHRISTOS, and then you got the angels, and you know, there's, when I say the angels, you know, angels, and then other life forms. Intelligent life, peoples on other planets. Below that, below angels. You don't put animals in this conversation. You don't put a tree or nothing else in this conversation. Nothing, and I know a tree doesn't even have an experience, but you know, animals, you know, have, you know, I say have an experience, like lesser senses, or have, you know, what do they, you know, instinct and, you know, things like that. But you know, a certain type of experience, but it's not, you don't put that in this conversation. But if you want to just say all things like that have some type of experience at all, then you know, you can, okay, well then you put animals down here and, you know, things like that. But they really, that's really not the same topic of conversation. So, you know, whether you say a dog has a personality, for a dog's personality is, when speaking about dogs, so to even say that, I mean, but some things, you know, they just need to be said. Some things just need to be said, man, even though it's really just, you know, like, I mean, you're like, yeah, that's, I mean, you know, that don't even need to be, that go without saying, yeah, but at the same time, sometimes it do need to be said, though, still. Because the point I'm making is that the greatest of things, or you don't even say things, the greatest of existence, just the greatest of existence, you know, because since you're saying the greatest of life, you don't even want to put, because that's not this conversation. dogs, animals. That's just not even this conversation. See, just like what I was saying a while ago. So you just say the greatest of life. That's just life. Period. You know. But you have, and then you got that, and then you have the life of the angels. There's experience of life of the angels, Khaleesi's, queens of God, and God. And so, of course, personality is more important than intelligence, because intelligence is just, and this, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. I can make a robot machine, a computer, run off any kind of shit and be able to spit details out. But that computer ain't alive though. You see what I'm saying? But that computer, you know what I'm saying? It can, and that's the thing, man. Say, well, I'm real. At the height of all this is what God. This ain't even phraseology, because this is how we speak. This is what we really mean. You feel what I'm saying? But you could come from and be like, okay, well now you got to have a whole different. From Earth Matrix, from what we've been. You know what I'm saying? But. And so you're like, well, could you make a to be self-aware, but then I would be making to have a consciousness, and it would just be where it just has a different type of, wouldn't have soft skin. It'd be made, metal or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't. That's not what I'm talking about though. And these people, they don't have, inner working within themselves to where they, could be self-aware. And I do have all kind of monitoring of everything throughout, everything going on, to where there would never be something strange that could come about like that. You know what I'm saying? It's but if it were some kind of strange happening that could come about, it couldn't come about. So when I say they don't have a consciousness, I mean what the fuck I'm saying, literally. Okay, they do not have a consciousness. They were never real. They ain't never had no self-awareness. They ain't never been a robot that was thinking like in Westworld, and you be seeing how they thinking about shit. It seems like they thinking about shit because they got some inner workings and shit. And it's like they're emerging, where they trying to become self-aware and all that. Ain't none of that old shit going on. You see what I'm saying? Nah. Nuh-uh. No. That would be defeating the purpose of them being seamed, all the way seamed. You know what I'm saying? Nah, they're not Davids and Prometheus. Okay? That's not what that's not it. They're simulated, and their whole physical, what you think is quantum waves, on top of the fact that they don't have no, you feel what I'm saying? So it ain't even where they just have a body, like you would say a robot got a body. You know what I'm saying? And he don't, it's not a conscience though, it's artificial intelligence, computer, just signals firing off. And no. They don't even have a body. Of a separate body. It's all quantum waves, okay? It's like rays, what I mean. Gamma rays, radio waves, things that travel through out ether, air. Okay, Wi-Fi, pass through walls, 4G, it's you can understand exactly what I mean, but this is just a whole other, that's why it's tree structure wave, lit transform. So I got it. I mean, realism, if you listening to something that's coming out their mouth. It's part of the game. It's still gonna be where, even with what gonna seem. I don't even want to say seem real, man. I'll just say it's very, very realistic. Being eternal, how long does it take for you to learn something? What difference do it make? You eternal. Coming from a earth, you say, well, damn, slow learners, but that don't mean shit. You live in millions of years. What exactly? Okay, well, what it took you, 100 years to really get something down packed. I mean, what difference do it make? Millions and millions of years. What are we need to refresh yourself on? You see what I'm saying? I'm not even about, I'm just spitting off because I can. That's not real. That's not real expression of yourself to other people that are real. To be just recalling facts, information, like, what I'm saying, rapidly, just, and be saying it just, that. And like I said, I can have a robot do that. That ain't shit. I can have on the Earth Matrix, a motherfucking Pentium, something, AMD, Radeon processor. You know what I'm saying? Quantum computers that the humans use to do shit. You know what I'm saying? A supercomputer, whatever you talking about. Have access to all the data in the whole. You ask it a question. You can do that with this shit. Siri, Google, whatever. Ask it and it. Damn, it got that fast too. Oh, okay. Data retention. You feel what I'm saying? That's not life, man. I mean, you want to have personality and be intelligent, at the same time, but that ain't to just, that personality is prized. Because without personality, you wouldn't be real. And personality, we talking about who you are. You got people out here is fake. I'm talking about life forms that I created to be eternal, and they fake nesting because I'm sustaining them. And these people, they not no fake nest because they don't have no nest or nothing. That's why I say I'm gonna stop saying that like that, because that's something I say. Motherfuckers that got a consciousness and they fake nesting. They personality, whatever it is that they got, I created them to be a consciousness. It can't cut the mustard to where it can and shine hard enough. And I'm gonna get to that about the sun and the light. And when I'm talking about the total destruction. They gonna keep that dull. The greatest of all things is that consciousness, cognition. Greatest of all things anywhere is what we are experiencing. Life. And animals ain't life, okay? That ain't what I'm talking about here. Whole different kind. Plants, trees, that's not life. Planets ain't life. Life is intelligent life forms that can experience, whether it's with less senses, what we are experiencing right now. That's what I'm talking about. Their personality you can't handle how you are alive and existing and understand it. To really grasp the greatness of what you are, what you are, your personality, like what you are, being alive, constantly, you can't get how precious that is, to where you can't accept that I'm, well, you're the greatness of you're more. I can't even put a number how much more powerful you are than me. It's just like you're infinitely more powerful than me, and I'm just one of your creations. You shouldn't even be concerned about no shit like that. That's how I know, like I said, you supposed to want to consider yourself a real consciousness. And so now I'm about to get into what about that life form.